Did you have to review the report with your client?
I have, Your Honor. As far as the factual part of it, we have no corrections, modifications, or deletions. I would like to address the recommendation.
Thank you. Ms. McDuffie?
Your Honor, there's a lot here. I know that our complaining witness is present. Is the court in receipt of the document that we received from him as well?
I am, and I've read all of the pages and every sentence of that report. I am very familiar with it. Thank you.
Okay. So I don't even know what else to say, I think, honestly, beyond that, except that this would be disturbing enough if this were like a first offense, because it would still be a very, it's clearly not. And it's one thing when someone, sort of believes that they're being told what they did and thinks that that's not the person I want to be, but not really getting, this is familiar behavior. This is in some ways frequent behavior. We just have a reference to the previous case that happened to involve a firearm, but there are several other assaultive incidents that weren't even, mentioned in Agent Johnson's report. And even the prior probation that she was on was violated with some of those things. I don't comprehend. I know that we get to this place so often, and especially when defendants are in person and fully realizing the consequences that probably await them because they're in person. And it is that time when everything spills out about all of the consequences that they might have to suffer with their work, their employment, their children, and it just baffles me how none of those consequences are considered before they decided to act in the way that they did. This was not, everything seems so much of a choice, so much of an intentional choice. And there was every opportunity to not behave in the way that Ms. Anderson did in this incident. So we are now faced with not having to meet those consequences because of concerns of family and home and other obligations. The people that are threatened with firearms and death threats and comments about body bags, the people impacted by this behavior have those concerns too. Not to mention in that immediate moment, the concern for their own life. And to hear all of that reduced to this was a private family conversation, as if I don't comprehend. I do comprehend it. Actually, I think the problem is that we all comprehend it and Ms. Anderson probably doesn't. So I don't want to go on too long, but as I started out, this is not the first offense. This is not the first time. This is not a situation where, not that this is ever an excuse, but this is not a case where tempers flared and someone's emotions got the best of them and they might have been under the influence and didn't appreciate the nature of their actions. These exact actions have been demonstrated before with an entire term of probation in this court years ago. I don't understand, and I never will understand, how we are sitting here today with a similar set of circumstances, if not worse, quite frankly, after that time. And in that previous case, Miss Anderson's child was in the car when that firearm was pointed at somebody. So there's just an entire other layer of the same children that we need to be concerned about today in terms of her not wanting to go to jail, to need to be there to support them. They are exposed to this behavior. What are they supposed to think? I'm going to stop and ask the court if it's prepared to hear from Mr. Wilson.
I am prepared.
Sir, if you can please unmute.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I've never had the pleasure of speaking with Ms. Duffy. What she said is the whole cake, the icing. That's exactly my sentiments. I don't know if Candace can hear us at this moment, but that is my exact.
She can hear you, sir. She can hear you very well. And in addition to that, I don't know if you know, and it's completely up to you, and you can remain off screen if you so choose. But your camera is not showing. I don't know if you want your camera to show or not. It is your choice. You don't have to turn it on.
Good morning. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
So, Mrs. Duffy's perception of this is my exact perception. This was not a personal family issue that happened. This is something that my sister created. And she's upset. She was completely surprised that I showed up to the first hearing, which I don't understand why. She threatened to murder me over 3 different occasions, aside of the gun situation. And I had nothing to do with this situation, ma'am. She disrespected our grandmother to the fullest extent, and my grandmother asked me to stay out of it. She said, don't say anything to her. She's looking for a fight. I didn't say anything to her. 4 days later, after the incident, I received a text message. F you, F y'all can die with her. She can die with her husband. And mind you, I didn't even say anything to her. I didn't call her. I didn't text her. I wasn't talking bad about her. I didn't say anything to her. I stayed out of it. I work a full 9 to 5 job, and she texts me at 2 p.m. With all these vulgarities. So I don't know where this is coming from. So I called my brother, and my brother stated that they had got into an incident. And I still wasn't, I'm like, did my name come up? And he said, no. I still am unclear how I was in this situation. To be put in a body bag before this situation happened, me and my sister were on a good page. I help, not even help take care of her. I wouldn't say that, but more so I'm there for my nieces. I'm a good uncle to my nieces. I'm a good brother to my sister. So she doesn't understand or comprehend. Maybe she doesn't comprehend the severity of this, of threatening to murder. She threatened to put me in a body bag. Then she's came over and was yelling in my grandmother's face, asking if she had life insurance on me because of something that she created. Nobody put their hands on her. Nobody said that they were going to do anything to her. This is all in Candace's head. Like and then it's ongoing drama. Even now, she's telling people, don't talk to me. And he came to court on me, and that's not my brother. And like, we're blood. We came out of the same woman. And all of this for something that Candace created. This is everything. This is happening. Candace created this. She cussed out our grandmother and wanted me and my brother to be on her side with that. She's talking about things. She take her husband off, like, and it's not even that our grandma chose her husband. Like, as an adult, you have to grow up and realize that everybody has their own life. We are not our grandmother's children. My grandma stepped in because we had an absent mother. She was there, but she wasn't an attentive mother. But Candace is 29 years old. We have to let those things go. We have to let that go. She has 2 children that she needs to be concerned about their welfare and being a better mother than our mother was. But creating family drama, threatening to kill her brothers, like, and let's say hypothetically she did kill off her brothers, what would that resolve? What would that resolve? So it's ongoing, and it's getting worse and worse. Yes, me and my sister have got into altercations. Yes, that's what families do. But it's never been to the extent of I'll murder y'all. I'll put you in a body bag. Y'all some pussies. Y'all scared of me coming around flaunting her gun. And I remind you, Judge Washington, over something that she created. So I'm going to leave it there. What Miss Duffy said, I'm just as baffled as her. And some type of mental evaluation needs to be addressed, and I wanted to continue the no contact order, period.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Muller.
I appreciate Mr. Wilson's statement. And I think everything that Ms. McDuffie said rings true. I think, and I've spoken with Ms. Anderson several times. She was concerned after talking with probation. She realized it didn't go well. I think she regrets not taking more accountability and giving a more open assessment. Obviously, it's very concerning what happened. When I've spoken with Ms. Anderson, and this isn't an excuse. I'm just trying to understand where she was, kind of why something like this could occur. And I did send documentation to the court about her toddler, who's outside right now, does have pretty significant health issues. Around the time of this offense, her daughter has
She knew that at the time she did this.
Your Honor,
and I know she knew that because I put her in jail the last time she was before me and told her very clearly not to come back. And instead, she's back while making threats and telling the people that she has threatened that they're pussies for calling the court in. Ma'am, I can see the text. There's a text message. I have the text message. So I think you better recount your statements. I'm giving you an opportunity to do that, is why I'm telling you this. Because she is not telling you the full story. She is very aware that she had a gun the last time she came into my courtroom. She is very aware that I gave her an opportunity on probation. She is very aware that she violated that probation that time and ended up in custody. So apparently jail is not that serious for her because she's back here now, and I see it very differently. I see everything that Ms. McDuffie said, but I also see a continuing pattern of taunting and threatening her family members. So it's going to take a lot for me to understand the frame of mind that she was in. Now you may proceed.
Your Honor, I understand, and I agree with you. I'm struggling also to understand, and so I only mentioned that, and she had a miscarriage as a way of saying, I think there is something going on, maybe mentally here. I'm not sure. I think that part of the recommendation, I think obviously full agreement with. I think there needs to be some kind of help. She needs counseling. We need to understand what's going on, what's causing this, because as the court said, this isn't typical behavior. This isn't, when you're on probation, you've already known what's happening to kind of escalate behavior in this way. So I agree with that. And I share the same concerns. I just wonder, as I do in many cases, if the 30 days in jail will, or it could be the full, of course, as well, what the jail time will serve for her or for her brother, who is the victim in this case, or her other family members. So that's my only concern, or just questioning. I don't know what more can be done, but I do, the probation last time didn't work. I hope the probation here will work. I hope something will click for Ms. Anderson. She knows what she stands to lose. She said that her and her grandmother are the only ones who can care for her daughter. She knew that when this happened, as Your Honor said. That should have been her top priority. I think if it wasn't, it is now. I think she needs